Hello, welcome to La Excellence. In our geography series, we are recording few videos which are important for our UPSC prelims examination. Our today's issue is Indian river system. PDF of this particular video is available in the description box. Please check once. Now, why Indian river system or Indian drainage system is important for the examination? If you have gone through the previous questions, you might have observed that every year at least one question is asked from Indian river system. Plus, this year there are many current issues with regard to Indian rivers. Let's say Shyok River, Galwan River, because of Galwan Valley conflict. India-Nepal border dispute. In this context, Gandak River is important. Brahmaputra River, many projects were built on Brahmaputra River, so that particular thing is in news. AP and TS, in between we have water sharing issue is there. Kaveri River issue has again erupted. So in this context, Indian river system is very very important for us. We can expect at least one question from this particular area. Now, let's start with this. Let's start with this word drainage system. What do we mean by drainage system? We have certain areas called drainage basins. These are the areas from which water flows and concentrates at one place. So let's say on this side, all these rivers, they flow to western side. These are the rivers that flow to the eastern side. So this is one river basin, this is one more river basin. That's why peninsular drainage, Himalayan drainage system, inland drainage system. Let us understand one by one. First one is Himalayan drainage system. What is it? From Himalayan region, there are many rivers. Many of them are international rivers that flow into India. One is Indus, two Ganga River, three Brahmaputra. These are three major Himalayan drainage systems that flow in India. Most of these rivers that have tributaries, and these are perennial. Perennial means these flow throughout the year. And these rivers are in youthful stage because they flow through this young Himalayan region. Most of these rivers are antecedent in nature. What do we mean by antecedent? They cut through the Himalayas and they flow into India. For example, if you go through this Himalayas, they cut through the Himalayas. Here Brahmaputra river also cuts through the Himalayan region. That's why these are called antecedent nature. Rivers that cut through various topographies. Similarly, we have peninsular drainage system. Peninsular means we have this triangular block which we call as peninsular India. Major rivers include Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri rivers, and then there are other rivers that flow westwards, Narmada, Tapi. So these are some of the important rivers. Drainage of peninsular India is much older as compared to the Himalayan drainage system, and these are mostly seasonal, but Himalayan rivers are perennial. And erosional and carrying capacity of the old rivers, because peninsular rivers are old rivers, this is less as compared to the Himalayan rivers. Next comes inland drainage system. Inland drainage means rivers that originate but that doesn't reach up to the sea. This is called as inland drainage system. We have Gaggar river in Haryana, Saraswati river in Rajasthan, and Luni river in Rajasthan. In Aksai Chin region also we have many inland drainage basins. The characteristic of inland drainage system includes these streams, they join lakes or inland seas. They are fed by the rainy water. During rains they experience flash floods because their carrying capacity is less. That's why during rainy season these regions or these rivers they experience floods, and they remain dry during the summer season. These are some of the characteristics of drainage, inland drainage, and these are the examples. Overall, based on the flow direction, we categorize rivers into east flowing rivers and west flowing rivers. So let's understand the difference between the two. West flowing rivers, they mainly flow between the mountains and through the rift valleys. That's why their catchment areas are elongated and narrow. But east flowing rivers, if we observe, like Godavari, Krishna, Ganga river, these are east flowing rivers. Their catchments are wider and fan shaped. These rivers, they don't form deltas on their mouths, but these rivers, they form deltas and deltoic depositions. Waterfalls are found on these rivers, but on these rivers less waterfalls or no waterfalls. They carry less sediments because they cut through the mountains and they go through the mountains. They go between the rift valleys and mountains. But these east flowing rivers, they carry more sediments. That's why delta formation. What are the examples over here? Narmada River, Tapi River. These are the west flowing rivers in peninsular India. And what are the east flowing rivers? Krishna River, Godavari River, Mahanadi River, Kaveri River. These are east flowing rivers. So when we talk about west and east flowing rivers, we mean in peninsular India. In peninsular India, we categorize rivers into east and west flowing rivers. That's the broad categorization of rivers into Himalayan river system, peninsular river system, and inland river system. Now let us understand river by river. First one is Indus river system. Indus river system is also known as Sindhu river system. It is considered one of the largest river basins of the world, and it cuts across Ladakh range, and it forms gorge near Gilgit region. Gilgit region in Jammu and Kashmir. We have many tributaries to it: Shyok, Gilgit, Jaskar, Nubra. Very important this year because of LAC conflict. These are some of the major tributaries of Indus River on the north side. In the south side, when it flows in the south side, the major tributaries of this include Satluj, Bias, Ravi, Chenab, and Jhelum. These are south tributaries. Shyok, Gilgit, Jaskar, Nubra, these are north tributaries. Indus River finally discharges itself into Arabian Sea east of Karachi. Karachi is a place in Pakistan. Indus flows in India only through one district, that is Leh district, main river of Indus, which originates near Kailash range. This one, it flows like this and it enters into Pakistan and flows towards it and meets the Arabian Sea east of Karachi region. So this major river Indus flows through Leh district of Ladakh, and it has many tributaries. This entire area is the catchment area and basin area of Indus River. Important. We have a treaty called Indus Water Treaty. According to the Indus Water Treaty, the major tributaries of Indus River, that is Chenab, Jhelum, Ravi, Bias, and Satluj. These rivers are divided between India and Pakistan in the year 1960. World Bank has brokered this particular deal between India and Pakistan. Now if we observe, see this one, this is Indus River, and the tributaries of this river include this one, Shyok River, this is Galwan River. Important, this basin is important. Now we have these things. West flowing rivers are Chenab, Jhelum, and Indus. East flowing rivers, Satluj, Bias, and Ravi. On Satluj, Bias, and Ravi, on these rivers, we have rights over these rivers, exclusive rights lie with India. And on these three, Jhelum, Chenab, and Indus, Pakistan has exclusive right. That doesn't mean we can't use these waters. We can use, but we cannot store these waters. That's the issue. 1960, World Bank brokered the treaty between India and Pakistan. Even during the wartime, this Indus Water Treaty was complied with by both the countries. Whenever there's a conflict between India and China, as we are the upper riparian country, we say that we might block it, but we haven't till now. We don't have the capacities also, because if we block the water, we have to build large reservoirs. So that thing is not there as of now. Now, major tributaries of Indus: Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi, Bias, Satluj, Shyok River. These are major tributaries of Indus River. This is important for now. Shyok means river of death. This is the tributary of Indus River. This flows through Ladakh region. It enters into Gilgit-Baltistan region. Nubra and Galwan, very important. Nubra and Galwan are the important tributaries of this particular river. And we have to learn about this. Jhelum River, Chenab, Ravi, please go through these ones. And you have to remember that this session is for revision. We are not discussing in detail. This is for your quick revision. Let's understand this. Shyok River. Why are we focusing more on this? Because this year this is in news. Shyok River. Shyok originates here, Rimo Glacier at the foothills of Siachen Glacier. And Nubra River originates from the Siachen Glacier. Galwan River This one, Galvan, flows through LAC and enters into India. This is Galvan River. And Galvan River meets Shyok River, and Nubra River also meets Shyok River. Shyok River, it meets Indus River in POK, Pak Occupied Kashmir region. Shyok, Nubra, Galvan, both are tributaries, north side tributaries of Indus River. And the significance of this is alignment is very much different. In general, rivers meet like this. But here alignment is little different. If you observe, see this flows like this and meets here. So Shyok River originates from Rimo Glacier, one of the subglaciers of Siachen glaciers. Alignment is unusual. It originates from Rimo and flows southeasterly direction and aligning the Pangong range and flow takes the northwestern turn and moves parallel to its previous pattern. And Shyok River widens as it confluences with Nubra River and it turns into a narrow gorge near Yuglong. And the Nubra River also flows this alignment, northwest and southeast alignment. That means there might be some fault lines. That's why these rivers are following this particular course. This can be a prelims statement for you. Please go through it carefully. That's about Indus system. Now let's understand the Ganga river system. Ganga river, it's formed by the two head streams known as Alaknanda and Bhagirathi. They join at Devaprayag. This is important. Devaprayag means meeting point of Bhagirathi and Alaknanda river. Mandakini Alaknanda river, we call that place as Rudraprayag. Pindar and Alkananda we call it as Karnaprayag. Dhul Ganga and Alkananda we call it as Vishnuprayag. All these are located in Uttarakhand. These regions are important pilgrimage places. Now, Ganga river system. It rises near Gangotri glacier in the Himalayas. Above Devaprayag it is called as Bhagirathi river. After that it is called as Ganga river. Let's understand the tributaries of Ganga river system. Left bank tributaries include Ram Ganga, Gomti, Gagra, Gandak, Bori, Gandak and Kosi. Right bank tributaries include Yamuna and Son. Bhagirathi Hooghly is the distributary of the Ganga river system. After Farakka is a place in West Bengal. After Farakka, it bifurcates into Bhagirathi and Hooghly system in West Bengal and Padma Meghna in Bangladesh. It flows into Bangladesh. It meets into Padma Meghna river system. So let's see through this map. This is Ganga river. Ram Ganga is one of its tributaries. Yamuna is its major tributary and Son is one of its major tributaries. Please go through the map carefully. Right? Map pointing is important. Go through the map carefully. This is the Gandak river. Gandak river flows and it changes its direction. Kosi river is known as Sorrow of Bengal because of its flood prone capacity. As it enters here, Hooghly system, and then it enters into Bangladesh, we call it as Padma river. Let's understand its tributaries to Yamuna river. It rises in Yamunotri glacier, which is west of Ganga. That is Gangotri glacier. And it meets Ganga river at Allahabad, we call it as Prayagraj now. It is one of the biggest tributaries of Ganga river. Its important tributaries include Chambal, Son, Betwa and Ken. It joins Ganga at Allahabad. Next important tributary is Chambal. Chambal, it originates from Janpao hills in the Vindhya ranges. Keoladevo National Park is supplied with this water. Keoladevo National Park, important in Rajasthan. This is one of the Montreux record national parks. Chambal River irrigation project is built on it. It forms badland topography. That means it forms highly eroded landform. And water released after the generation at Ganga Sagar Dam, Rana Pratap Sagar Dam, Jawhar Sagar Dam. These three are diverted to Kota barrage for irrigation in Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh. That means on Chambal river we have many dams that are built. Now Yamuna river, if you consider, Yamuna river flows from Yamunotri glacier, Panipat, that means Haryana, When it reaches Panipat, that is Haryana, after that, as it passes through these industrial and highly urbanized areas, it becomes most polluted. That's why these areas are called as areas of dead river. Areas of dead river. After that, once Chambal meets it, its flow increases and then pollution also reduces slowly. And this is the site near our Taj Mahal region. Taj Mahal is built along the banks of Yamuna River. As Yamuna is highly polluted at this place, it is leading to damage to this particular cultural heritage of India. We call it as marble cancer because of acid rain in this particular region because of the high pollution, marble cancer. Supreme Court has ordered for the protection of this monument. In this context, the neighboring states have taken up this initiative called Taj Trapezium. Taj Trapezium zone. In this particular zone, protection of this monument for that these states, Rajasthan, UP, these are taking up major measures. Next issue with regard to Ganga river system is Ken Betwa. As we said, these two are Yamuna's tributaries. Ken and Betwa linkage. Ken and Betwa. This interlinking project provides water for this region, Bundelkhand region. It's a water deficient region. But this particular project has criticism. What is that? Here, this region is famous for Panna Tiger Reserve and National Park. This is Biosphere Reserve also. So, if the dams are built on this and the reservoirs are going to inundate the forest region of Panna, that's one of the environmental concern of this particular project. This is the brief chronology of Ken Betwa interlinking project. If needed, please go through it once. This is the mapping. Ken Betwa project. What is the final idea? Just go through it once. This is the Panna Tiger Reserve. We want to build dam over here. That might lead to submergence of area. Now let us understand other tributaries of Ganga River. Son. Son is a tributary of Ganga River. See here, we should not get confused. Son is not tributary to Yamuna River. It's tributary to Ganga River. Now, this rises from the Amarkantak Plateau. Amarkantak Plateau, it joins Ganga River near Patna. The important tributaries of Son include Zohilla, Gopat, Rihand, very important. Rihand Valley project is there. Rihand, Kanhar, North Koyal, important, flows through Jharkhand. So these are some of the tributaries of Son River. Next is Gandak River. Gandak rises in Nepal-China border at an altitude of 7,600 meters height. It flows through central part of Nepal and enters into Bihar, Champaran district. It is one of the conflicting. Susta is a region. Susta region is a disputed region between India and Nepal. This particular dispute arose because of the shift of Gandak River. Ramganga. Ramganga River rises in the Kumaon hills of Himalayas in the near Nainital region. It joins the left bank of Ganga below Farrukarabad. It flows through Jim Corbett National Park. Very important. We have recorded environment related videos also, 12 videos. We recorded important national parks in India. In that, we have discussed about Jim Corbett National Park. So we mentioned that Ramganga River divides it into two equal parts, and then once it crosses the UP border, Uttarakhand border and enters into UP, it joins with Ganga River. These are the points that we discussed in that. So if you have not gone through the environment series, please go through it once. Next is Gagra River. Gagra River rises from east of Gangotri. It joins the left bank of Ganga River in Chapra district of Bihar. Next is Kalapani dispute. Why this issue is important? Kalapani region is disputed region between India and Nepal. We said Susta is a water dispute between India and Nepal. Yes or no? Gandak River, as it changes its path, Gandak River, as it changes its path, here at this particular location, there is a region called Susta. At present, this is unresolved dispute between India and Nepal. One more river region is Kali River region. This river originates from Lipu Lake Pass and it forms boundary between India and Nepal. So this is Uttarakhand, that is India, and this is Darchula area of Nepal, and this flows through this. Nepal says that from Limpudarya region there are many tributaries. These tributaries they flow like this. According to Sugali Treaty is between India and Nepal. At the time, British East India and Nepal. Sugali Treaty of 1816. This treaty says that Kali River east side Nepal border, west side India. But they say that we should consider this is the main river. We say that this is the main river. So at that side your region, this side our region. But Nepal says that we should consider the tributaries also. So as its tributary starts from here, we should consider this also as part of Nepal. This region is Kalapani region. We say that no, main river you should consider according to Sugali Treaty. So there is a pass called Lipu Lake Pass. So why is it a conflict? This is a small region. Kalapani is a small region, but it's a huge conflict because this is important. Lipu Lake Pass is important pass between India and Tibet. That is India and China. That's why strategically it is very important. We are not leaving the claim on this region because of the strategic importance. Limpudarya, this is also one of the mountain pass regions. Lipu Lake Pass is important. Right. Next important tributaries of Ganga River include Kosi River. Kosi River rises from the peak of Nepal and Tibet. It flows through eastern Nepal and enters Bihar in Sahasra district and joins the left bank of Ganga below Bhagalpur. This is called as Sorrow of Bihar because it leads to floods every year and it changes the course. See, many of the Himalayan rivers they change the course. Earlier, Kosi River's direction was this. Slowly it shifted this way. Now it forms C kind of bend in Bihar region because of the shift of, because Himalayan rivers they carry huge silt. That's why they shift the course easily because of that weight. Next one is Damodar River. It rises in Chota Nagpur Plateau in the Palamu district of Jharkhand and it flows through Rift Valley and it joins Ganga River. It joins Bhagirathi Hooghly system in West Bengal. It is known as Sorrow of Bengal. There are many series of dams built over Damodar River under the project name called Damodar River Valley Project. This valley is known as Ruhr of India. Why? Ruhr is a region in Europe which is famous for many minerals. Now, as this region is famous for many minerals, this region is known as Ruhr of India or Mineral Heart of India. It joins the Hooghly River 48 kilometers below Kolkata. That means Damodar River is a tributary of Ganga River. It joins the distributary of Ganga River, that is Bhagirathi Hooghly system. That's about Ganga River system. Now let us move on to Brahmaputra River system. Brahmaputra is also known as Sangpo in Tibet. It rises in the Chemyungdung glacier region in Kailas ranges and Mariamla Pass separates it between the Manas Sarovar Lake. Manas Sarovar Lake and Kailas range, these are separated by Mariamla Pass. Now, important tributaries of Brahmaputra River include Subarnasri, Kemang, Dhanasri, Dihang, Lohit, Tista, Torsa, Manas, Buri Dihang. These are some of the tributaries of Brahmaputra. Important. They might ask us which of the following is or which of the following are part of Brahmaputra river system, something like that. It flows through Tibet and enters into India. From India it flows into Bangladesh. It forms one of the world's largest deltas in the world, which is known as Sundarban Delta region. This region is also famous for mangrove forests. Mazuli Island, important. Mazuli Island is world's largest riverine island, which is a fluvial. Fluvial means riverine delta form. It has unique geographical occurrence because of the changing river system. Brahmaputra River, it enters into India from Arunachal Pradesh. There is this bend called Namcha Barwa mountain system. Here it bends. It enters into India. From hilly region, it enters into Brahmaputra plains. So that's why Brahmaputra changes its course once it enters into the Assam plain region, because it is fast moving from hills to plain region. Yes, this is the path of Brahmaputra river. Sangpo, this is Sangpo river. This is Namcha Barwa bend. It bends and then enters into India this way. This is the flow. And once it enters into Bangladesh, it is called as Jamuna. and Ganga meets it, it forms Padma river, and Meghna river meets with it, Meghna. Mazuli Island is this. Mazuli Island is formed because of this Brahmaputra river system. Next one is Teesta River. Teesta River is tributary of Brahmaputra River. It's a tributary. It's known as Jamuna in Bangladesh. It flows through India and Bangladesh. Teesta River flows through Bangladesh and India. It originates in the Himalayas near Chuntang region in Sikkim, and it flows southwards and enters into West Bengal. This is one of the controversial rivers between India and Bangladesh. This originates from here, it enters into India, enters into Bangladesh. It meets Brahmaputra in Bangladesh, not in India. On this Teesta river, we have a project. Bangladesh and India, they both have conflict in water sharing of Teesta river. That's why this is in news. Now, originally river continued southwards and empty into Padma river, but it changed its course and started eastwards to join Jamuna river. Earlier, Ganga river. It meets into Padma river, that is Ganga river. Now it changed its course. It provides for irrigation facilities. It provides for water for irrigation in the North Bengal or North West Bengal region. This is the dispute between India and Bangladesh. Please go through it once. Teesta river dispute. Next, let us enter into peninsular river systems. Important peninsular rivers. Let's understand the important rivers of peninsular India. The major river system of peninsular India is Godavari river. Godavari originates from Nasik district of Maharashtra. Pravara, Indravati, Wainganga, Wardha, Pench, Kanha, Penganga, Manjira, Bindusara, Sabari. These are major tributaries of Godavari river. This river is known as Dakshina Ganga or Vriddha Ganga because it is older than Ganga river system. Kaleshwaram project, Polavaram project, which are some of the biggest multi-purpose projects that are proposed and implemented recently are built across this particular river. You should carefully observe the map of these river basins. Upper Wainganga, Pench, important, Kanhan. This is Sri Ram Sagar Dam is built over this particular river. Wardha, Wainganga, Indravati, Sabari. These are important. Manjira, Nizam Sagar Dam is built over this Manjira river, Nizam Sagar Dam. It flows eastwards and it meets at Dhavaleshwaram. We have a barrage, Dhavaleshwaram barrage, and it meets Bay of Bengal. Rajahmundry, we call it as Arthur Cotton barrage or Rajahmundry barrage. Godavari basin. They might ask us which of the following are the tributaries of Godavari or Godavari river water or Godavari basin is located in how many states, which of the following states, something like that. Right, this is the Godavari river basin. Go through it once. Next important peninsular river is Krishna river. Krishna river originates from Mahabaleshwar region in Maharashtra. Koyna, Tungabhadra, Bhima are some of its major tributaries. Koyna, Bhima, this one is Wardha, Tunga, Vedavati. These are some of the important tributaries of this. Srisailam project, Nagarjuna Sagar project. These are located on Krishna river basin. This meets Bay of Bengal. Nagarjuna Sagar Dam, Srisailam Dam are major projects on this river. Next important river is Kaveri river. This origin of this is Brahmagiri hills of Karnataka region. This receives rainfall, this is important. This receives rainfall from both southwest and northeast monsoon. Kabini, Noyal, Arkavati, Bhavani, Amaravati. These are some of the important tributaries of this. Suvarnavati, Arkavati, Kabini, Noyal, Bhavani. These are important tributaries of this. Kaveri river meets Bay of Bengal. So this is the Kaveri river water dispute. Kaveri water allocations and how Kaveri water is distributed between 4, that is 3 states and Puducherry Union Territory. Next important river system is Narmada river. It rises in Amarkantak region of MP. Left bank tributaries include Tawa, Barhar. Right bank tributaries include Hiran, on which we have Duandar waterfalls are located on this Hiran river. It flows through Rift Valley between Vindhyas and Satpura ranges. That's why if you have observed the basin of this area, river basin is narrow but long. Narrow but long. Now, on Narmada River, we have a dam called Sardar Sarovar Dam. We have series of dams, but this is important. Sardar Sarovar Dam water is shared between Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, Maharashtra, and Rajasthan. Rajasthan also shares the water of this Narmada Sardar Sarovar Dam. Next river is Tapti or Tapi River. This rises near Multani region of Satpura ranges in Betul district of Madhya Pradesh. Its basin is located in Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, and Gujarat. Its left bank tributaries include Purna, Vegar, Girna, Bari, and Panihara. Its right bank tributaries include Betul, Arunavati, Ganjal, and Gumal. This is known as twin or handmaid of Narmada. It flows parallel to Narmada region. On north we have Narmada river. On south we have, again this also flows in Rift Valley. That's why it is called as twin of Narmada. Next important rivers include Sabarmati River. Sabarmati River, its origin is in Mewar Hills of Aravali range. Important tributaries of Sabarmati include Hatamati, Sedi, and Wakal. Mahi River, it originates in Vindhya range. MP, Rajasthan, Gujarat share the water of Mahi River. Brahmani River, important. Brahmani River, it forms due to the confluence of Koyal and Sank rivers near Rourkela industrial region. The basin, it is bound north by Chota Nagpur Plateau, south by Mahanadi Basin, east by Bay of Bengal. Brahmani River forms the waterway for National Waterway 5. We have national waterways. For National Waterway 5, we have this Brahmani River. This river is important. It provides water for industrial regions in this particular region. Next river is Mahanadi River. Mahanadi is important. Mahanadi River originates in the Bastar Hills in the Chhattisgarh. South to the Amarkantak Plateau, it flows into Odisha region. It is the third largest peninsular river system after Godavari and Krishna. Its tributaries include Sionad River, Hesdo River, Man River, Ib River, Tel River. Important. Hirakud Dam is built across this particular river. Puri Island is located at one of its mouth. Puri site is pilgrimage site. Puri Jagannath Temple. Important. Mahanadi region. Next important river is Penner River system. The Penner River originates in Channakeshava Hills of Nandidurga range in Karnataka. It flows into AP. Karnataka and AP shares the water of Penner River system. Its left bank tributaries include Jayamangali, Kunderu River. Right banks include Chitravati, Papagni, Somasila Dam. Somasila Reservoir is built across this particular river. Next, we have many west flowing rivers from Western Ghats. The important one is Periyar River. Periyar is a west flowing river that flows in Karnataka state. It originates from Shivagiri Hills of Western Ghats and it flows through Periyar National Park. It's called Lifeline of Kerala. It's the longest river of Kerala. It flows through Periyar National Park. Main tributaries of Periyar include Motipuza, Mullayar, Cheturonzi, Perinzukutti. These are some of the tributaries of Periyar River. Mulla Periyar Dam, which is one of the controversial dams between Kerala and Tamil Nadu, is located on this particular river. It's located in the confluence of Mullayar and Periyar rivers. That's why it is called as Mulla Periyar, and it's in the Idukki district of Kerala. See, this is the Periyar Lake and this is the river, Periyar River. It flows and meets the Arabian Sea. And we have Vembanad Lake. Vembanad Lake, this connects the Periyar River and other river systems. Important, Vembanad Lake. This is the Mulla Periyar Dam and its history. Mulla Periyar Dam, here this is the Mulla Periyar Dam. Though it's located in the Periyar River in Kerala, water is used by Tamil Nadu according to the historical agreement between, at the time, British India and Travancore Kingdom. It's a 123-year-old dam. Kerala says it's an old one, its height should not be increased. Tamil Nadu says no, its height can be increased. There's a safety audit that has been performed. So there's already core mechanism is there. There won't be any problem because they get more water if the dam height is increased. But then Kerala says if dam height increased and if something happens, lower areas, these will be affected in case of dam burst, not Tamil Nadu. We will be the victims. That's the argument of Kerala. And it's a 990-year lease agreement. See this? 999-year lease agreement between British and at the time Travancore rulers. Next one is Vaigai River. This is a small river, but it's a news, that's why we are reading about it. Vaigai River, south side of Tamil Nadu. Vaigai River, it's south of Kaveri Delta. It meets with several streams. Vaigai is it's a combination of many streams. Vaigai is the major one. Vaigai basin is important basin south of Kaveri, and it's in the Kanyakumari region. This basin is bounded by Varushanadu Hills, Andipatti Hills, Cardamom Hills, Palani Hills to the west, and to the east it has Park Strait and Park Bay. Important. Vaigai drains into an area of 7,000 square kilometers. It's entirely in the southern side of Tamil Nadu. Why this is important? Because of this. Kiladi. Kiladi is an urban settlement which belongs to Sangam age. This particular Kiladi civilization is located in the banks of Vaigai River. Many of the features of this particular civilization are similar to Indus Valley civilization. That's the striking feature of this. See, Indus Valley civilization is much older than Sangam age. This belongs to 3rd century BC. But the script of Vaigai, Kiladi age, Kiladi region, and the script of Indus is same. Indus is somewhere in the northwest side of India. This is down south. So that's why there's a curiosity among the archaeologists. Now they are studying how this entire thing might have been happened. That's why Vaigai River and its location is important for us. That's about Indian river system. All the very best. Thank you very much.